It began as background noise, a phone ringing in the middle of the night. Faint, persistent, easy to ignore. But what made it unforgettable was that the line had been disconnected 6 months earlier. The last person to ever use that number was Grace Holloway, a 32-year-old schoolteacher from Portland, Oregon, who vanished one quiet evening in 2019. Her phone went dead the same night her car was found abandoned on the bridge. For months, police and family called her number out of habit, hope, or denial, until eventually the calls stopped. The line was canceled. The case went cold. But then, a full year later, Grace's parents began getting voicemails from that same number. Grace was the kind of person everyone described as reliable, routine, predictable. She taught English at a small private school, spent weekends with her sister, and called her mother every night at 9 o'clock. Until one Tuesday, the call never came. Her sister, Mara Holloway, went to her apartment the next morning. The door was locked, the lights off, her keys, wallet, and phone gone. The last confirmed sighting of Grace came from a traffic camera. She was driving across the Hawthorne Bridge at 8:17 p.m. Headlights blurred, then nothing. Detective Liam Carver, who led the case, admitted years later, it was like she evaporated. No witnesses, no tire marks, no trace of struggle. But the strangest clue wasn't what they found. It was what came after. On a rainy April evening in 2020, almost a year after Grace's disappearance, her mother Elaine Holloway received a voicemail. The number flashing on her phone stopped her heart, Grace's old number. She pressed play. At first, only static, then a faint sound of breathing, and underneath it, a whisper, "Mom." The voice was unmistakable, faint, strained, but Grace's. Elaine called the police immediately. Detective Carver listened to the voicemail a dozen times. He said, it wasn't a prank. Whoever it was, they knew how she spoke. But when investigators traced the number, they hit a dead end. The phone was deactivated, not reassigned, not recycled, permanently inactive. Yet over the next 3 months, 6 more voicemails arrived, all from the same number, all in Grace's voice. Each message grew shorter, more fragmented. The second one had only 3 words. "They can't see me." The third, heavy breathing, followed by, "Tell them I'm not gone." By the 6th message, there was a faint background noise, a steady hum, like machinery or water pipes. And at the end of that recording, a sound that made investigators freeze. The echo of the phone ringing. It was faint, distant, as if from another room or another line entirely. Detective Carver turned to the Holloway family. Did she ever mention prank calls? Stalkers? Anyone unusual? Her sister nodded. 2 months before she disappeared, Grace said she kept getting calls. From herself. Grace's old phone records revealed something chilling. In the weeks before her disappearance, she had dialed her own number 5 separate times. Each call lasted under 10 seconds. Police had dismissed it as accidental, a glitch. Now it looked like something else. Carver ordered a deeper trace through the carrier's archives. They found that the old number, Grace's number, had pinged once more, long after disconnection. At 2:13 a.m., the night of the first voicemail, it briefly connected to a cell tower near the Hawthorne Bridge, the same bridge where her car had been found. A technical team specializing in digital anomalies was brought in. Their lead analyst, Rachel Chun, discovered something that defied logic. The voicemails weren't routed through modern networks. They were sent via voicemail retrieval protocol, an obsolete system abandoned years ago. The timestamps, however, were current. It's like someone accessed an old server and forced new data through a deadline, she said. But that's impossible, unless they had access to the original handset. Grace's phone, her missing phone, had never been recovered. Then, a final voicemail arrived, the 7th and last. This time, the voice was calm. "Steady. Stop calling me. I'm home." Police scoured the area around the Hawthorne Bridge again. This time, they expanded the search beyond the waterline. About 100 yards downstream, a local construction crew unearthed a sealed drainage tunnel, closed since the 1980s. Inside, under a layer of silt and concrete, they found the remnants of a burnt smartphone, the same make and model as Grace's. Beside it, lodged in debris, was her missing employee badge from the school. The device was too damaged to recover data until forensic engineers extracted fragments of its memory chip. The last outgoing call on record was made at 8:19 p.m., 2 minutes after she crossed the bridge. To her own number, experts could never explain how deactivated numbers kept transmitting. Some theorized that her messages were drafted but never sent, stuck in a digital queue until the system rebooted years later. Others believed it was a cruel hoax, someone cloning her voice using AI or archived voicemails. But the Holloway family never changed their minds. They believed Grace was trying to reach them, that somewhere between the living and the lost, her signal still carried through. Today, her number remains inactive. Yet every year on the anniversary of her disappearance, her mother dials it one more time. And though the line never connects, Elaine swears she hears something on the other end. A faint click, a whisper, and then the sound of a phone ringing. Some mysteries live in the silence between calls. And sometimes, what we mistake for ghosts is just a voice that refuses to stop reaching out. This was Trace Crime Files. Subscribe for more stories where truth is stranger than fiction, and justice is never as simple as it seems.